So here, this is our, right, this is our project. So non-static members we created. Here I need to call in another package class. So let's go and finish this quickly and create a new class. Call instance members in another class of same package. So yeah. So what is the first scenario? So how to call? First option is how to call one class non-static members in another class of same package. So that means this members and so this class are in same package. How can we call? That's what this scenario. So let's see, first step is create an object for the class. So what is the class name? The class name is non-static members demo. So using new keyword. So class name, reference of object equal to new class name, parenthesis semicolon. Class name is this one, and NSM obj equal to new starting. So that's it. So this is the class and object reference equal to new. This is the object. And this is the object reference variable. So which contains, so how do you know what address is there in this? How can you get that address number? So you have object class method is there. That method will return an integer number. So how can you fetch the object reference variable value? Object reference variable value. So what is the answer? So using object class. So hash code method. So which returns so integer value. So how to call return type non-static method? This is again non-static method. Hash code is a non-static method of this class. But so how can you call sir this one? So every class, parent class is an object class by default. So whether you extend or not, it doesn't matter. So that means all object class methods you can use with this object reference. So the same object reference dot this method you call. So then the syntax is data type. So variable object reference dot return type non-static method. So data type is a integer. So variable is memory address. Memory address equal to object reference is NSM
obj
dot hash code. So this will give you the memory address of that object. What value is stored there, you can get it. See, now you can see the memory address. This is the memory address. Okay, is it clear? Okay.
Sir, please tell me once again.
Hash code method will fetch the memory address of what value is stored in this reference variable. That value, if you want to fetch, you need to use hash code method. This hash code method is in the object class. Object class is the superclass for all the Java classes. For all the Java classes, it's a superclass.
Okay.
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 That's all about how can you fetch. So any class. So hash code value. So if you want to fetch hash code value, you have to use this hash code method. So next, so our purpose is to call the non-static members, right? Non-static variables and non-static. So let's go and take the first of all the methods concept, and you can find out the formulas. All formulas are available here. So you take one by one formula and execute it. That's it. But make sure you remember those formulas to call the non-static members. How can you call the non-static members? So this is the same class, right? Scenario 2. Let's go to scenario 2. So this is the scenario 2. So first formula, how can you access one class non-static variable in another class? So what is the answer? Object reference dot non-static variable. So object reference is NSM dot. So which variable you want to call? You decide what variable you want to call. I will call double data. But this is the value. Value directly you cannot write, right? Either you have to print or you use in the calculations. So I'm just printing. So this class so double D value. That's it. So you can see the D value will get is 10.15. So next, how can you access non-static void method in another class? What is the answer? NSM obj dot, but which one that is having a which access modifier? It is not visible. Can you see here anywhere? That's a char demo, right? It's not visible here. So it's not visible here. But how can you enable that? How can you give a permission? So just go and give the permission. So public, full permissions I am giving. So let's go and call this char demo. So when all the data will print it. So next, same parameterized method how to call. Everything formulas are very clearly given. If you are facing any problem, please let me know. Okay. So object reference swap. So basically it has to swap 9 and so 999. That's the first thing. Next. So return type method, just now we have written, right? A return type method, same, we are so using this. What are the return type methods we have? So did you all create that parameterized method? I given a task, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. We were not practicing. I think I'll catch one day. It's going to be, so I'll blast. So please be careful. You have to bear me. So I'm just, nowadays, I'm just not, taking very harsh. So once I'll take on one person, I'll ask if you are not clear until this point, you will be out of class. I'm clearly telling, please be practice and be so cautious on all the concepts till now. If you are not there, so we can just simply say I'm out of my class. I'm okay for that. Just go out of my class, no problem for me. So, but without reading, don't come to my classes also. Okay, that's one thing. Seriously, I want to say that. So next one, int and variable name is so random. Sir, we paid money. Then why you want to bother? So what? If you pay money, I'll give back your money if you want. Without reading, what is the fun of joining classes, right? I don't want you guys, for fun's sake, don't join. It's a waste of time for me and waste of time for you also. Right? Asking all the persons and so this is not good, right? So that's why I'm telling, please concentrate on this. This topic is a very, very special, especially for methods. Very, very important topic. Don't neglect this. Every day, even if you get a time, also read them, these formulas, whatever the formulas I'm writing here. So wherever you get a chance, write the formula and practice so that you can remember the formulas. If you remember the formulas, you won't make mistakes. There is a difference between void methods and there is a difference between return type methods. Return type methods, see, always you're storing the data, right side data in the left side. But void methods, you don't need to store because it doesn't return a value. Even void methods, you don't need to call in the print statement because they won't return a value. So that basics, you should know that. These are the basic points. Focus on these basic points. That's very, very important. And all these are basics. These are formulas are all basics. If you're strong on these basics and you are good with the coding. That's what I want to say. Please so practice more number of times and that will really help you. And even so create the your own methods. So I'll give you some exercises in our blog. We have so many exercises. If you are really interested, go and practice there. So many methods I have given the task, you can create the methods. So unless you are not doing the exercises more, you won't get it. So you have to try different concepts. Whatever I told you practice means you won't get the concepts. When you can learn the subject is you do yourself a different topic and the same area, different methods, different programs you take up. Then you will learn it. So how to write all those things, and I'll show you the where I have given a lot of questions. So you can go and take it up and practice that. So next one. So what is the last one? Max value, right? Did you all try in the math class methods, min values, something like that? Any one programs? Did you try?
Yes, sir. Random value.
Not random, but different methods you have, right? In the math class, you have a min, max, something like that. So did you try to call them? So That's a try. Okay, experiment them. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I'll put a random number variable. This variable I will use here. Okay, that's fine. That's all about all the methods. See, finding bigger in 230. That is the random number. Okay, any questions here? In the same class, we are done with all the so, all of them. I'm going for the other package. How to call in another package. Call another package. Call non-static members. Call instance members in another package. So take the main method and call here again, same procedure, but only when you cross the package. What is the procedure? When you change the one package class members, you want to call in another package class. So what is the procedure you need to do?
Import the
First imports.
First you have to do import. Right? So the first thing is create object for the class. Okay, create object for the class. Create object for the class. That's a so mandatory thing you have to do. So what is the class name? So give this class name.
non-static members demo. Non-static members demo. New.
So you want me to write again the formula? Let's write class name, reference of object equal to new.
Class name.
But all this is this object reference variable also a local variable. I made it. So I made this as a local variable. I made this as a local variable, right? It's not a any other thing. It's just a local variable. So now that local variables where you can access.
Within the method.
Method.
Within the method.
Within the method only. Local variables you can use within the method, not within the class. Within the method only you can access, not outside the method, even in the same class also. See, now this is showing error. Why it is showing error? You have to import. So let's do import. So I have imported. Okay. So import is done. Now let's call one by one again. But again, same procedure. See what is, for example, you want this memory address. So how can you get the memory address?
Hash code method.
Call the hash code method. So nm dvj dot
Hash code.
So this will create another memory. So see that? Execute this. So it's a different than other. Okay. Always it's going to be a different memory every time. Now, so let's call how to call void without parameters. void method without parameters. So how can you call that? So object reference dot
Object reference.
non-static
Void method.
non-static void method. So object reference is nmd obj dot
Cadem.
char. So next, how to call? So void parameterized method. So object reference dot. So void parameterized method. So nmd obj dot swap
With the
any two numbers. So it will swap. So just do that. Okay. Are we good?
Yes.
Yeah. So now how to call return type non-static?
no parameter.
So you want parameterized or without parameters?
Without parameters.
So without parameters. So then call just data type.
Variable
So
name
variable
equal to object
equal to
reference dot
object reference dot
return type
return type non-static. So call this integer. So rand val equal to, so nmd obj dot.
Generate.
Is it visible or not?
No, it's not.
So why it's not visible?
Protected, I think that is.
So protected or so default? Let's go and see that. Protected. So protected not accessible, right? In another package directly. So until unless if you make a subclass, then it's not possible. So how to do that? How can we do that? So that is what, so this just change the permission. How can you change the permission? Just
Public.
change it to public. If you want to access in another package, this public is the only option you have. So see, now you can get the method. You're able to get the method. It. $63 is the random number. So how to call the print statement? So max value is, so nmd obj dot get max value. That doesn't have a permission. That's why it is not allowing. So 1 minute, guys. Okay. So we need to give the permission for that method also, because it's a default method, right? Let's give permission public so that you can access that also. So and well, I can give another one. Okay, so max value is 400. So that's all about how to call the non-static members and non-static methods, static members and static variables. Even variable, did we call variable here? Not it, right? Let's call variable also. Same one-time import. Import is one time only will do for regarding that class. But so other, again, you don't need to do import every time. Right? You don't need to do every time. So that's all about this one. Let's move on to next topic, control structures. So we are entering into a new topic, control structures. Any questions here before jumping on? Any questions? Okay, let's move on to the control structures. So then this is a very important topic, this one also. If else, nested if else, switch, and these are the conditional statements. While, do while, for loop, for each loop. These are the iterators or loops, we call them. So break and continue, these are the two keywords, very important when you want to break the loop, when you want to continue the iteration. So these two keywords are used. So array is the another important concept where you can store a similar kind of elements in the array. Till now we are storing only single value in the variable, but where you can store a group of values, that you have to use array concept. Okay, so let's see how can we understand one by one this. So if statement. So what is if statement? So basically this is a simple decision making statement. It is used to decide whether the statement or block of code will be executed or not. If the condition is true, this block of code will execute. If condition is not true, entire if block will going to be skipped completely. It's not going to execute anymore at all. So if condition is true, this whatever you write inside this curly bracket, that's called blocks. So this block inside code will execute. If the condition is false, it won't execute. Okay. So that is the how we can do that. So the condition will be always Boolean value, how to you will get back. So right, based on the expressions, you can write the expressions, you can hard code the true or false also. You can hard code the true or false also. So it depends on what you want, okay? So you can hard code with a true or false, or you can write an expression also. So both are valid. So for example, if you don't enclose curly brackets, if condition after you're writing multiple statements. So only one statement will be considered for this condition. This statement is not going to be considered for this if block. It will be out of if block. So that is this. So if statement, the flow charts, if you observe, see that if condition is true, it will come and that if block code will execute. If condition is false, this will take it this path and exit the entire if block. So that's the if block. So you can write the condition of statement can be either expression or Boolean value, as I mentioned clearly. So these are the expression, means these are the expressions, the conditional operators. So logical operators you will use in your expression. So or directly you can write a Boolean value like this. Directly you can write a Boolean value like this, or you can write an expression like this. If this expression is true, then this statement will execute. So now this is a true or false?
True.
True. So this statement will execute. Now what about this statement?
Less than B, yeah, true.
True, right? 10 less than 12. A is the 10. So B value 12.
12.
So 10 less than 12, true. So this statement will execute. Now what about this? A plus B, 10 plus 12.
22 greater than 15.
22 greater than
15, yeah.
15.
The code
15.
is
So it's a true. So then this statement will execute. Next, true. So if condition is true, this one. And if not false, what is meant by not false? Negation. So negate to false. What is the negate to false?
True.
True, sir. If not false means true.
So true. True statement will, this true means this statement will execute. So that's it. And conditional operators, you will use all this less than, greater than, just now we used, and logical operators, this one, undo, or, so these not equal. So these are the operators you are going to use in between your operands. These are the operands. A is one operand, B is one operand. In between that, operators will be there. These are the operators. So A and B are the operands, that means variable names. So that's all about if condition. Next, if else. If else means what? So if else is, so basically in the if condition, what we are doing, only one condition we verified. And if else means you can test true and false, both conditions you can test it. So both conditions you can test it. And here, if the condition is true, it will go to if block. If the condition is false, it will go to else part. So based on the condition, the block of code will execute. Here it is. If the condition is true, this if block will execute. Else, this else block will execute. Else, you don't need to write any parentheses here. Okay, only if after you will write a parenthesis. So these are the, please go and walk through this. If condition is true, this block of statement will be executed. If condition is false, then this block of statement will be executed. That's the, so if else statements. Flowchart of if else statement. So if you see here, I already mentioned, right? If condition is true, if block code. If condition is false, else block code. So then it will exit the complete code. You need one block only will execute at a time. Not both blocks won't execute at a time. So these are the examples I'll show you. So mainly in the coding time. The nested if else statement. What is nested if else? you have multiple conditions. Multiple conditions, how can you test? So multiple conditions you can test. If you write a one block inside another block, another condition, you have to write multiple conditions. Then only it is possible. So that's why, so we are just, writing if condition, so else if condition, so else if condition, else. So these are all the conditions we are going to write like this. So this is the sequential. If this condition is true, it will execute this block. If this condition is false, it will execute this block and it will execute this. So and so on, else all this. So if all these conditions are not true, it will go to else block. If all these conditions are not true, this code will execute. So that is the, so nested if else means. Nested if else also called if else if ladder, we call that. If else if ladder, we call that. So here you can see conditional statement. So if it is true, and this code will execute and exits. So if condition is false, it will come to a second condition. If second condition is true, that block of code. Else, it will go to another condition. If this condition 3 is true, that block code will execute. Else, it will go to else block. So like this, you can write a n number of conditions. Multiple conditions if you want to check. So you are going to use that. So that's a nested if else condition. This is the one, how we will write. If condition 1 is true, condition 1 statements. Curly brackets, see you have a brackets. So else if condition 2 statements will execute. Else if condition 3 statements will execute. Else if condition 4 statements will execute. So if all these conditions are not true, it will go to else block. So this is the one example, you can try it out. Write a parameterized method for this. So what I'm doing in given ABC, which one is big, I'm finding out. So if A greater than B and A greater than C, then you can say A is big. Else if in between there is a one space, okay, one space you have to give. Parenthesis, again next condition, B greater than C and B greater than A, then B is big. Else if C greater than A and C greater than B, so then you can give C is big. Else, so invalid. So this is the how you can, so write the parameterized method and send me this code, okay? Write a parameterized method and send me this code. You have to write a method. So either you take a static method or non-static method, it doesn't matter. So you have to write a parameterized method. That's a task for you all. Okay, so next, so this is another example I have given. So nested if else. So you need to find out the grade. Okay, so you need to find out the grade based on the marks. So this also you can do with the conditional. The test score you will give and grade you need to find out. So how can you find out the grade? So that's another example we have. On nested if else, you see I have given a lot of programs. You can see this program. So you need to calculate the BMI based on the weight. So this is another program you write. So this is also another example I have given here very clearly. So if you follow this, you can easily understand. So what is the formula you have to write? So weight and height you have to give as an input. So weight and height you have to give as an input. So weight divided by height square. If you do, you'll get the BMI. Okay. So that BMI, so if your BMI is 28, you are slightly overweight. So that conditions I have given here. So your BMI is 18, you are underweight. Your BMI is 22, you have a normal weight. Your BMI is 28, you are slightly overweight. Your BMI is 33, you are obese. Your BMI is 40, you are clinically obese. So use all these conditions and tell that based on this BMI value. So if else conditions, you have to write multiple if else conditions. So all these conditions, you have to tell that very clearly. So that conditions you write here. Next also another challenge I have given here. So given year is a leap year or not, you have to tell that. So how can you do that? So I have given the flow chart also here. I think this one is a flow chart. If you go through this flow chart, easily you can write the, so whether it is a, so you can see that this is the flow chart. So if you follow this start, then this is the condition, right? That means if, so the number, whatever you are giving the year, is it cleanly divisible by 4? Then yes, you will get a one more. So first if inside, yes, otherwise is else. So it's not a leap year, you say that. Then this if inside, you have one more if condition. If, so is it cleanly divisible by 100? You say yes means one more if condition. So one more if condition, then so here no is coming. So is not cleanly divisible by 100 means it's a leap year you're saying, and it is yes means, so one more, you have to check one more. So all these conditions you have to write. See if this if inside one more if, this if inside one more if, and then, so then finally you're saying leap year. So else part also you have to write. So this is the top else, and this is the this if inside this else. Again, this if inside another else. And finally, so you will tell the code. So follow this and it is easy to write the code. Okay. So if you have any questions, we'll discuss on this. Please try this out. So based on this, it's very easy to draft the code. And even this also, I have given a lot of programs. I have given roller coaster flow diagrams. This also you can try it out. So many programs I have given here, and you can try it out here also. These are all examples. So many examples I have given. Fine. So let's move on to the next one. Whether I learned, it's okay. Switch, last one. Switch case. So what is a switch case? Tomorrow we'll see the coding, but today I'll just cover the theory part. Switch case is another if else if ladder, same as if else if ladder. If in the if else if ladder we are writing multiple conditions, right? If condition, only one condition. If else, you can test true and false, only two. But if else if ladder, you can write multiple conditions. Same in the switch case. So basically it reduces the complexity of if else if ladder. Switch case, it reduces the complexity. You have a lot of brackets in the nested if else, right? That will be reduced in the switch case. That's the main advantage of switch case. It looks clean and readable, more readable. So, and the switch statement executes one block of statement from multiple blocks of statements based on the condition. So in the switch statements, we have a number of choices and we can perform different tasks for each choice. So like this, switch, bracket, variable or expression. So curly bracket, case, value 1. So then you write the code, then break it. So if this case is this variable or expression is matching this case 1, then you execute this code and then break it. Don't move on to the next. Then case 2. So this code will execute. If this case 1 is not true, it will go to case 2 and this code will execute, break it. So like this, and you will write multiple cases and default block. You write the default block. You write the default block. So this is how we can write multiple switch statements. So then this switch, okay, the switch is another, see, simple, right? Very simple. You don't have multiple brackets. So each case is an example for one condition in the nested if else. But there you don't have a break, but here you are writing a break keyword. Mandatory, but this is optional, but it is better to write each case after break. So if you don't write, what will happen? Even though this, for example, this is true. Even though there is no break here. If this is not true also, this code will execute until it encounters the next break. That's the problem. So you have to make sure it is handling all the that statements. It is covering everything. Okay, any questions? No questions? Yeah. So that's it. We'll see tomorrow. And this is the diagram. Variable. So switch a variable or expression. If case 1 is true, if this variable value and this case 1 value is matching, that case will execute, then break, it will exit the entire switch block. If case 1 is not matching this expression, it will go to case 2. So case 2 matches, that case 2 block code will execute, break, and exit entire thing. So then like that, it will all the cases. So each case is a one condition. Each case is a one condition. Same as a nested if else. So that's the how the switch block is also used to write a multiple conditions. Okay, so that I'll cover tomorrow these programs and we'll see that programs. So here I basically am covering here in the given character. So which is a vowel, which is a consonant, you need to find out. That's the program. So I have written here switch. See, if this character is a and I am just printing this is the vowel. So break it. If the given character is not a, basically I'm checking A-E-I-O-U. So because we have 26 characters, I cannot check each and every one, right? So A-E-I-O-U 5 only. 5 cases I can write. Other than 5, that means it will go to default block. Here a default block means it's a else block in the nested if else. Okay, so if all these cases are not true, it will go to default block. So here a default block is a else block in the nested if else. Are we good?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's it for the day, and tomorrow we'll see so programs on this. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Please practice. Okay. So you have a lot of programs are there. So write more programs. Then that will really help you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.